ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Taking into the consideration that all of you are qualified students, and you have some basics of Vedanta, if not at least you have seen the difference of you being a mumukshu and a jigyasu. Because when we start our life, as all of you know, to be born as a human being is because of our Mishra Karma, means Mishra Karma Phalam. Both Punyam and Papam are mixed. So basically, every human being is called a Mishra, not the title surname Mishra, okay? And same Mishra when it goes to North India, Mishra. So it becomes different. However, here we say very carefully that because of my Mishra Karma Phalam, I am born as a human being. And because of which both Papam and Punyam has to be fructified. So that means when I am a human being, not that everything will be fantastic, nor that everything will be miserable. So there is no complete pain, nor there is full of happiness. So that means when my life is the mixture of both Punyam and Papam, that is how common people explain the life is like a cycle. Sometimes like a wheel goes up and again it will come down. And in short, what common people philosophically or other people tell you, look, don't worry, this life is like a wheel. The orbs that are there, it will go up, again come down. That is what life moves. But you feel life is full of ups and downs. So that means when there is ups and downs, there are ups and downs rather, that is perfectly signifies that you are a human being. But when there are ups and downs, sometimes we feel, especially when we are in down, we feel It is what? Very long. Like recession. So there is a myth about recession. What is the myth of recession? Do you know? Are you aware of? That the myth of recession is V-shape. But in reality, it is U-shape. Do you see the difference now? So we all believe that this ups like V-shape, sorry, especially down is V-shape, but up should be opposite of U-shape. So inverted U, you understand? But in reality, it is other way around. So the down is U-shape, maybe up is V-shape, but in reality, up also equally inverted U-shape, because this is the law. But what happens when we are in up? When we are excited, when we are happy, when everything is good because of my punyavalam, I do not feel the time. Whereas, when I am down because of papam, then what happens? I start counting time. I'll give you two examples. One of the most painful example is when you are waiting for your friend near the bus stop. How painful is it? You'll be waiting. I have seen, especially I don't know how it works. This is whether Murphy law or any law, I don't understand till now. I'm talking about old examples in Chennai. The particular number bus will come. Which number bus you look for, that bus will not come at all. Other than that, everything will come, okay? I have also tried sometimes, okay, I'll change it. I'll go to some other place. Then I'll change the number mentally. Earlier, that number used to come a lot. The moment you change, that number will not come. And the moment you change, the number which you were looking for earlier, only those numbers will keep coming. Those who have experience in Chennai or any other place, you can feel this very nicely. That waiting for a bus, it becomes painful. It's not that buses are not coming. They do come in their way, especially Chennai buses, they don't wait for anybody. Whether people are there or not makes no difference. They maintain their time. But it becomes so painful for us that we feel that we are waiting for a long time. Same thing also when you are going through any painful situation, whether physically or mentally, both way. That every moment that you count, it looks as though it is very long. Just imagine somebody who is nearer to you or dearer to you is suffering and is in ICU, where you have emotional dependence. Now what happens to you? That few hours will appear as though few months. And of course, the person who is going through, don't ask, okay? That's another level. So how these two examples you can see work. Same thing also, the good examples. When you are happy, how time passes away. I'll give you a beautiful example. Till now I remember this example. First time when a person starts flying, I remember. Like, as young when you start flying, before you could realize that you are flying, they announce, we have reached. Because I'm talking about in Indian way. So we used to, we were acquainted with the trains days together. Starting from waiting and moving, jik, 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 you understand? And suddenly you get into the flight. Now when you really are flying, then what happens? Before you could realize that you are flying, they announce, now we are going to land in 20 minutes. We are descending. So your time is not observed. Means you don't, you will expect, why not they can take little longer time? If you are well informed, of course not. I can only talk. Okay, there should not be traffic clearance. So that let this flight go around 2 times. So that I can enjoy some more time. And later on, nowadays if you ask, if they say, okay, there is some turbulence or traffic signal is not there, clearance is not there, what you will say? No. Another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. No. You understand the concept? So that means this ups and downs is completely depends upon this concept of punya and papa. And this punya and papa gets unfolded in 2 layers. This is what I wanted to arrive at. Punya and papa gets unfolded into 2 layers. One is external layer, other one is your internal aspect, your internal responses to that external situation. Because of a punya karma, you will be in a better place. The situation, everything will be conducive for you. But also you need another set of punyam, that how you should respond. And if you do not respond to them, will it be possible? In fact, that punya time will pass away, you will not able to make use, or you will not really see the growth in you yourself. Same thing also with reference to papam. So when the adversity situation comes, external papa phalam. So internally, how you relate? If you do not know how to relate, how to respond, now the external adversities will become worse. So that's why we try to see the horoscope. Because the external papam and punyam cannot be avoided. Please understand. If you observe your childhood, if you observe all your past, please understand, especially that's why I'm bringing past, cannot be avoided. You could not do it because it's not supposed to be avoided. Thank God. But what happens? How did you respond? How did you relate? That determines the internal aspect of your papa and punya. So with reference to internal papa and punya, there has to be a growth. Whereas with reference to external papa and punya, there need not be any change because it is supposed to happen the way it is supposed to happen. Where I don't have control. That's why we say very carefully that I must not control. Because the more I control, the more I become weaker internally. I remember very nicely somebody said in present condition situation that is happening in India. India is not a good situation at present. Very unfortunate things are happening. But very nicely somebody said that look, this is a very typical Indian example, okay? So in the bathroom those days, we used to take, one type of pot for using, bathroom. So now little modern is called a mug, bathroom mug, toilet mug. You can write what is called toilet mug. Another type of same kalasam will be, those days, will be used for puja. So there is not much difference those days. So this mug got changed in plastic era, plastic. Okay? So that kalasam, you can say Shambhu, that got changed to mug. So now let us say there is toilet mug so that you can relate. There is puja mug, puja jar, okay? You can use this, okay? So toilet jar and puja jar. So where you carry water for puja purpose. Now, it makes no difference whether the puja jar comes in contact with toilet jar or toilet jar comes in contact with puja jar. Who is the loser? Who becomes loser? Puja jar or toilet jar? Always puja jar. It makes no difference who is coming in contact with whom. That's why it is the responsibility of a puja jar to maintain its distance. And this maintaining its distance is called internal punyam. So this internal punyam to be cultivated. And how to cultivate this? Even though Vedanta highlights that Viveka Vairagya, Shatka Sampati, Samadhamadi Shatka Sampati, and Mumukshitvam. But in common way we say, if you do not have all these things, at least learn to surrender. If you cannot surrender to anybody or anything, at least learn to surrender the time itself, that moment itself. But generally what we do, instead of surrendering to the time, we retaliate. Have you not observed? Whenever anything happens, what generally we do? Do we surrender to the time? Forget about God and other things, our concept, I'll bring God later on. So do we surrender to time, accepting that time, that moment, or we start defending, attacking? In short, retaliating. In short, rejecting. And when we start doing that, what happens? Please understand our concept that external punyam or papam is not in my hand. I cannot control. It has to be unfolded the way it is supposed to be. But because I start defending, because I start retaliating, Now I will not be able to develop my internal punyam. And when I am not able to develop internal punyam, I don't have any choice than suffering in my life. And a man of suffering needs grace. If there is no suffering, nobody will look for anything in life. Be honest, all of you, including me also. I don't want to say, if there is no suffering in your life, will you come to Vedanta class? Because somewhere or somewhere there was suffering. Please understand. Maybe because of some grace that has brought into, and that's why we all are in this Vedanta class. You are listening to Vedanta. But remember, when I am suffering, I need the grace. To understand this, I really need the grace. Problem is, when I suffer, I don't understand, I don't accept, appreciate that I am lacking grace, I need grace. But what I do? I complain. Basically, a man of suffering, instead of looking for grace, starts complaining. That's why we say mind is like a river and unlike a river. So when you say mind is like a river keeps flowing, the water keeps flowing from up to down. That's why mind is like a river. Unlike a river, because here is one-way flow, whereas mind has got two-way flows. Down to up, up to down. And when this two-way flows takes place, then the person starts complaining. Can you see this point? And a man of complaining understands that I am wrong. A man of complaining understands that something is not okay, but not able to accept because of lack of grace. That's why we say, in life, when suffering starts, look for grace. That's why I have seen in our childhood, in family, if anything goes wrong, first thing they will say, go to the temple. Do this pariharam. You understand? They will call the astrologer. Let us look at the chart. Anything is wrong. Let us do this, let us do that. Because they did not know how to tap the grace. At least whatever others says, based on that, they look for grace. Maybe because of that reason, those days people were better in spite of not having many things in their life. Whereas nowadays we have everything, but one thing is lacking, that is called grace. And when grace is lacking, I start depending upon myself. And when I start depending upon myself, that means I develop a false confidence. And present day, all beings, especially human beings, instead of looking for grace, now they are strengthening themselves. And when they start strengthening themselves, definitely, instead of being strong, they present others as the strong. Why happens? How happens? We'll talk tomorrow. Om Om Punnamadah Punnamidam Punnat Punnamudachyate Punnasya Punnamadaya Punnameva Vashishyade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.